First tonight on our news weekend, Operation Shield. The Free National Movement releasing its six-point plan to address what they've deemed an immigration crisis amid what leader Michael Pintard explains as a situation that's worsened over the years. Plus, left in the dark, Bahamas Power and Light is sending resources to Cat Island following 2 island-wide blackouts and a 2-hour load shedding rotation. And celebrating 66 years of environmental excellence. The Bahamas National Trust is looking back on its achievements while charting the way forward. Our news, the weekend edition, starts right now. This is our news, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Berthany McDermott. Operation Shield, that's the name of the six-point plan from the Free National Movement to tackle an ongoing immigration issue, should the opposition win the next general election. It comes as party leader Michael Pintard says the current situation threatens the foundation of national security, places an increased strain on vital public services, worsens the housing shortage, and stretches already limited resources. During a press conference at the party's headquarters this afternoon, Pintard said the government has failed, adding that the current system is broken. It's against this backdrop that Pintard says the FNM will end illegal land occupation, heighten surveillance, investigate political abuse and unfairness, limit approvals, and disclose data. The FNM leader also claiming that in recent times, there has been a rise in work permit applications that he says are extremely suspicious.
Over 10,000 immigration and work permit cases remain unresolved. Allegations of bribery and interference continue to emerge, and Bahamians have lost faith that the system is being run fairly and lawfully.
As a part of the FNM's plan, Pintard says his administration would, among other things, establish a government whistleblower hotline and enforce stronger penalties. Pintard also committed to launching a national audit on land occupation and revealed a plan to heighten surveillance by seeking to strengthen maritime patrols and secure borders, as well as implement the Immigration Reserve Program.
This corps will be composed of qualified, trained, and community-rooted Bahamians from every family island who will support our overburdened immigration department. These reservists will serve as the eyes and ears of national security in their local communities, because no one knows the rhythm of an island better than the people who live there.
Over in Grand Bahama, police are probing what led to the discovery of a decomposed body that was found near Wildcat Avenue near the Jack Hayward High School Saturday afternoon. On scene, Superintendent Stephen Rowe telling reporters they made the find before 6 o'clock. He says residents were walking in the area when they found the body. According to Roll, it could be a missing man reported missing on the island.
Ops responded, and upon arrival, they would have met or discovered a boy that's partly decomposed, had an all-black clothing. Based on what is saying on the scene here today, it appears to be that of a male reported missing on Tuesday, the 8th of July. But at this point, an autopsy has to be done to determine the exact cause of his death. This matter now is under active investigation, and as soon as we have information for the media, we'll update you.
Roll says the discovery is unusual for the area. At the time, he could not say a foul play is expected.
Once someone's reported missing, the police go on information. Of course, we make it our best to try search as many areas as possible that the police may be frequent. And that's why we want to appeal to the public. If you have any information where this person may be or tend to go, give it to the police so we can make a check of it.
Days after a murder-suicide and a mass shooting in Mason's Addition, Teen Challenge Executive Director Eric Fox says anger management and resentment needs to be taught to teens to prevent instances like these. According to police, shortly before 1 a.m. Tuesday, a 58-year-old man went to a home on Mantall Street where he confronted and attacked a woman with a cutlass. During the altercation, the man pulled out a gun and shot another man inside the home, killing him. A young girl was also shot, and the suspect killed himself.
There need to be classes then role plays on how do you deal with various circumstances, the situation, how do you walk this out. And even if you don't do it the right way, you can have people to come to and back up and talk to, or maybe a phone call you can make, or qualified, confidential people should be there for people to talk to.
That same night, 4 men in Mason's Addition were shot and taken to hospital. Fortunately, none of the men lost their lives. Fox says there needs to be more outlets.
I'm talking about 24 hours. 24 hours. I get a lot of calls from a lot of hurting mothers in particular. And then we're dealing with mental illness too, the smoking. Marijuana is a very serious drug. A lot of young men end up getting psychosis. We do psychosis. It's mental illness that they need to be on medication.
Shell Island residents are still grappling with the lasting impact of an island-wide power outage on Thursday. Bahamas Power and Light releasing a statement today detailing what led to the outage. BPL says around 9:45 that morning, multiple issues with BPL's generation assets caused the outage. Local teams mobilized and were able to restore one of the standby generation units, resulting in the restoration of power to customers on the north feeder and partial restoration to the south feeder sometime later. But due to limited generation capacity, a rotating load shedding schedule was implemented every 2 hours between the north and south feeder to manage demand. BPL says they quickly moved in the required parts and technicians from New Providence to address the issue. But the island faced another setback this morning when the only functioning generation unit went offline, again causing an island-wide outage. Additional support is expected on island today. With summer in full swing and children spending more time at home or in their communities, one child advocacy group is sounding the alarm on the growing threat of sexual abuse. The call for action comes in the wake of chilling revelations made in recent weeks. Our Delvado Emmanuel spoke with a child rights activist who is continuing her call for tougher laws.
It's a concern that continues to haunt the nation, sex crimes against children. And while many prefers to shy away from the conversation, Rise Bahamas is demanding real solutions. During the last month's debate, the Minister of Social Services disclosed that some parents are allegedly exploiting their own children for financial gain. A gut-wrenching reality Rise Bahamas founder, Tennille Burrows, says isn't new, but needs to end.
It happens in different ways and for people of different income brackets. The fact that we have politicians who can go into Parliament and make these declarations and give us these statistics without any follow-up action plan, without any sort of programming in place, or even something to make the general public feel as though we care and we're going to get justice for victims of sexual crimes.
Burrows says more must be done to protect minors, especially with schools out for the summer and many children left unsupervised.
The maximum sentence for rape, which is the same as unlawful sexual intercourse when it comes to children, the maximum sentence is life imprisonment. So if something is life imprisonment and we don't see nearly anywhere near that harsh a penalty has ever been given for the rape of a child, we now say we want a 25-year minimum mandatory sentence for all persons found guilty of raping children.
Still, Burrows admits there is no easy fix, no one-size-fits-all answer to keep every child safe, but she says awareness, accountability, and harsher penalties are a crucial start. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Thanks, Delvado. Now turning to the political battleground. Good luck. That's the FNM chairman, Dr. Dwayne Sand's response to former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, who asserted that he is the leader this moment requires. Speaking to the Killarney constituency earlier this month, Dr. Minnis said he wouldn't be pushed aside as he officially launched what he called the Killarney Strong Movement. It remains unclear if Dr. Minnis intends to run as an independent, as the Free National Movement has publicly revealed they will not ratify the former leader for the Killarney constituency. We put the issue to the FNM chairman.
Good luck with that. I have no comment. We should be naming our candidate for Killarney soon.
Meanwhile, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell says the formal process for ratifying PLP candidates won't begin until early August. As he says, the party's candidacy committee is set to meet soon. The Free National Movement ratified 17 candidates and the Coalition of Independents ratified all 39 candidates already. Mitchell says elected candidates get first preference in the process.
as I've said before, we have members of parliament. They're all working in their areas. So the question of candidates doesn't really arise at this point because we have people who are there. And the presumption is that unless there's something to the contrary, the incumbent has the first bite at the cherry, so to speak, although everybody has to be renominated. So we're not quite there yet, but we're making sure that all members of parliament are busy working in their areas.
3 sitting PLP MPs have revealed that they will not run in the next general election. For Charlotte MP Alfred Sears, Michael MP Basil McIntosh, and North Luther MP Sylvanus Petty. House Speaker and Bambootown MP Patricia DeVoe has said she's undecided on the matter, along with South and Central Abaco MP John Pinder. Meanwhile, Mitchell is explaining the process.
The party's procedures say that everyone has to do the course that trains you for public life. That has to be redone, certified again, and then you come before the candidates committee. Candidates committee reviews your record. There's been an assessment of all constituencies. All of that will be presented to the candidates committee, and then at the end of the day, a recommendation made to the National General Council.
When our news weekend comes back from the break, how is the ongoing unrest in the Middle East impacting the local economy? An investment expert weighs in, and a popular feeding program is set to expand to the northern Bahamas. Find out what islands have been added to the list of the Let's Make a Difference initiative. That's coming up when our news weekend returns.
Family, how you look so down? Set them all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try set them all cold and flu and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Tensions in the Middle East flared a few weeks back, raising concerns around the world, including right here at home. Many have been wondering how ongoing geopolitical conflicts may impact global markets and, by extension, the Bahamian economy. In our monthly sit-down, RF Bank and Trust Vice President and Group Head of Investments David Slaughter says these types of global developments are always on his radar.
When it comes to hitting home, 20% of the world's the oil every day flows through the Persian Gulf. So if there's a disruption to that flow of oil, now a lot of that ends up going from Iran to China, but it still will have an impact on global prices, right? If suddenly there's a significant decrease in supply of oil, the price impacts us all. And then you had air travel. A huge part of that region was a no-fly zone. So airlines had to fly north and south around, increasing fuel costs, increasing travel times, making certain airports not accessible. So that part of the world, those airlines, Dubai and Qatar, have become huge hubs as far as Asia to Europe travel. So suddenly they were not available. So the ability for one person to decide it's time for a missile strike or something erupts, it can be very disruptive to air travel, oil shipments. So it's just something you have to bear in mind. And unfortunately, I think we had even though the last missile strike from Iran on Qatar was telegraphed. The Allies knew it was coming. Why Qatar? Because you have a group called, it's a huge intelligence location. It includes multiple nations. So it's a way to target US, Canadian, British, French, Australians, New Zealand, everybody in one go. But their intention was not to actually, I think, hurt anybody. Their intention was to make a statement.
A small idea has blossomed into a national mission. The Bahamas Striping Group of Companies Let's Make a Difference Thanksgiving Feeding Initiative is expanding to the northern Bahamas. The expansion includes feeding 15,000 hot meals across Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini. At a press conference this week, co-chair of the national initiative, Julia Josie, says the community's support makes the growth possible.
We are delighted today to launch the Freeport arm of Let's Make a Difference Thanksgiving Day Feeding Initiative. We are here to support Melissa Sayers and her team as they prepare to take on the feeding of 15,000 persons. And this year, along with Grand Bahama, because they have been so successful for the past 2 years, they have decided to take on the two islands, Abaco and Bimini. So we are excited. We are looking for persons to volunteer, to lend a hand, to lend your support.
Leading the charge on Grand Bahama is Melissa Sears, who says the initiative started with just 2,000 meals but has grown rapidly thanks to collaboration with local groups, businesses, and residents who care. Sears is calling on Bahamians to volunteer or donate, emphasizing that every bit makes a difference.
You don't have to wait until November or October to begin to bring in your donations. We are accepting donations now. We have been accepting donations. So it isn't a matter of just a big company. It is a matter of us willing and wanting to help each other. It is a community effort. So even we have the one bag of rice, one ham, one turkey, whatever it is that you can bring in, we're asking you to please get in contact with us, and we are happy to receive your donations. And I know we will be successful this year again with feeding 15,000, not just in Grand Bahama, which tells you how dynamic our team is, but in Abaco and Bimini as well.
Still to come on our news weekend, the Bahamas National Trust celebrates more than 6 decades of managing national parks, protecting species, and shaping environmental policies. But first,
we pull up at a local esports tournament and find out which Bahamian played in yesterday's minor league all-star game. We have all that coming up next on our sports weekend.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all to deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try set them all cold and flu and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Good evening, happy Sunday. Welcome to our sports weekend. I'm Tage Adderley. A live partner with Atlantis and the Bahamas Esports Federation to throw a video game tournament yesterday afternoon. Let's check it out.
The gaming industry is growing bigger and bigger in the Bahamas, and with that rapid growth, you need rapid internet speeds as well. And we're just here to showcase what Alive Fiber can do for gamers here in the Bahamas.
That's Shelby Hanna of Alive. The company partnered with the Bahamas Esports Federation and Atlantis to host their annual tournament. Founder and president of the federation, Michael Amagan, was thrilled about the event and the prizes.
The games that we've typically been running are Tekken and Street Fighter. Those are seen as some of the more popular and comparatively difficult titles when it comes to the fighting game community. That is probably one of the most passionate communities just in the world, but also here in the Bahamas. We're really looking forward to these games just in general, plus seeing where we currently are with the level of play here in the Bahamas. Because every year, every tournament, every event that these players come out, they take it up another notch, and it's always good to really see where we are.
Atlantis Director of Guest Activities, Sydney Roll, talked about the resort continuously hosting the event.
Just helping all the gamers and just who love the game to come to find a nice space so that they'll be able to compete in a way where you won't be able to find any other place like that. We're doing our best to continue to build and grow within the gaming community with the assistance of the esports community.
Now, the winners all get cash prizes, with the number one team getting $1,000. Now we're going to head back to the field where Sebastian Walcott played in minor league baseball's most prestigious showcase for the second straight year. 19-year-old shortstop Sebastian Walcott of the Texas Rangers organization started out of position at third base in the minor league all-star game, going 0 for 1 in his 2 plate appearances with the ground out. He hit a sock fly to center field, a drive and a run as well, and his glove work and big arm were on full display in the field as his American League All-Star team lost 4-3 to the National League. Elsewhere in baseball, Anton Richardson's New York Mets logged a 3-1 win over the KC Royals, their second straight. His mentee Juan Soto hit a home run in that one, and Frankie Montas pitched 5 innings, surrendering only 1 run. And Jaspers went 1 for 4 with a single, as his New York Yankees lost 5-2 to the Chicago Cubs. And before we go, Major League Baseball will take a break for the All-Star Game this week. Jaspers will be in the game, and he will also participate in the Home Run Derby. Now, the Derby is tomorrow at 8 p.m. sharp, and the game itself is Tuesday night at the same time. We're going to be all over the coverage. Well, that's a wrap for sports for the weekend. For our Sports Weekend, I'm Tage Adderley. I'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Tage. When our News Weekend comes back from the break, our Daniel Miller tells us how the Bahamas National Trust is celebrating 66 years of environmental conservation and stewardship. The details when our News Weekend returns. Welcome back to Our News Weekend. Cloudy but warm outside the Our News studios for the most of this Sunday. But is there rain in the future forecast for the upcoming work week? Meteorologist Ian McKenzie is in the Weather Center to tell us more. Ian.
Thanks, Berthany, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Sunday evening forecast. We're currently outside our studios under mostly fair skies with a temperature of 84. Winds are from the east at 6 miles per hour. Feels like at 91. Temperatures across the country, we have 85s in Freeport as well as in Great Harbor Key and in Nicholstown, 86 in Allenstown, 84 in the capital, a pair of 83s in Marsh Harbor and in Governors Harvey, Luther. Central Bahamas, 84s in Kemps Bay, 83s in Black Point, Georgetown, Deadman's Key, Port Nelson and in Arthurstown, Kid Island, 82 in Coburn Town, San Salvador. Southeast Bahamas, 84s continuing in Duncantown and Providenciales, 83 in Colonel Hill, Delectable Bay, and Abraham's Bay, 86 in Matthewtown in Agua. Satellite and radar imagery at this time, we have some cloudiness associated with a trough across the northern area that should continue to trigger pockets of unsettled weather through about Tuesday. High pressure building across the area in its wake by late Tuesday into early Wednesday. Boating forecast for the northwest and central islands, winds southerly 10 knots, seas running 1 to 3 feet over the ocean, high tide at 10:38 p.m. tonight, low tide at 5:06 a.m. tomorrow. Southeast Bahamas, generally well, winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots, seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. In your extended forecast, some showers hanging around Monday, gradually clearing out, some showers returning Friday, excellent for the weekend. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks, Ian. The Bahamas National Trust is celebrating nearly 70 years of managing national parks, protecting species, and doing their part to shape environmental policy. Today, they're celebrating their 66th anniversary. In this story, our Danielle Miller tells us all about their history and what they're looking forward to achieving in the future.
It all started on Exuma with a group of local and international conservationists that recognized that human intrusion was posing a threat to the chain of islands and the country's flamingo population. The efforts to preserve the environment eventually led to the formation of the Bahamas National Trust. President of the Bahamas National Trust Council, Joanne Smith, tells us more.
And our first park was Exuma's Keys Land and Sea Park. So we're happy, we're almost in sync with the anniversary, the independence anniversary of the Bahamas.
Now, 66 years later, the BNT is reflecting on how far the trust has come.
We're working to protect 33 parks across the country. That comprises land and sea, comprises about 2.2 million acres.
And how can you help the National Trust celebrate?
The public can help us celebrate by being, coming out to our events, donating to what we're doing, becoming members. We ask them to do that to help us get the word out. These are the things that we really want to do.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks, Danielle. Well, what a week it's been, full of color, culture, and that one-of-a-kind Bahamian pride. As our Boldly Bahamian campaign wraps up, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for showing up, showing out, and leaning all the way into what makes us, us. We shared stories that captured our spirit, from the hands behind Bahama handprints to the voices carrying our culture. You helped us remind the world what it means to be unapologetically Bahamian. And before we close out, there is still one last chance to win. A Bahama handprint beach set with a beach bag and towel included could be yours. Just answer this 3-part question from our digital series. Which Our News team member's favorite color is yellow, and what is their job? Name the Our News team member who doesn't like conch salad, and name the Our News team member who doesn't like to eat crab. Just head over to our Instagram page to enter. Thank you for celebrating 52 years with us, with pride and bold Bahamian joy that no one else can match. So let's keep telling our stories and being boldly Bahamian. Well, that does it for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Berthany McDermott. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Make it a great week, everyone.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.